What's good, everybody? Trash the Kids here, and I'm here to check out a review for a game that I have been waiting for so long. 13 years in the making, I believe, which is Ninja Gaiden 4, which just came out, well, in America came out today around 8 p.m. Eastern Time. But I want to make sure that the game runs well on PC, which I'm going to buy it on, because nowadays for PC games, it's kind of like, oh, will that run well? I don't know, performance kind of sometimes on PC. So today we're going to be watching Ninja Gaiden 4 Before You Buy from GamerX. I just hope that the performance is well. That's all I really care about. I don't want them to go too deep into like, oh, this happens. I want to experience it for myself. But I do want to know a little bit about something about Ninja Gaiden. Just like if I should worry about any bugs. Is it a fast game? Is the story quicker or something like that? I just want to know. Is it still challenging? Because I played Ninja Gaiden 2, original 360. Love that. I played Ninja Gaiden 3, did not love that, actually hated that. But I think they released Raise Your Edge, which I have not played, which probably fixes the issues that I dislike in Ninja Gaiden 3. And I played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden 1, because they released a collection like a few years back. But Ninja Gaiden 4, I can't wait to get to this. But before we start this, I gotta say one thing. RRP, the creator who revived the Ninja Gaiden series, and I think he created Dead or Alive. It is, let me make sure I get the name right. I don't wanna mess this up. Tomonobu Itagaki, I think I pronounced that right. RP, he passed away a few days ago, and like around 58 or 50 years old or something like that. He was still young, like he wasn't like in the 70s, which is like, dang, kind of sucks. You didn't get to see your game fully come out and you passed away. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, let's see what GamerX has to say. Please be great. You don't gotta be a 10 out of 10. I just need you to work. Be great. I know what to expect from Ninja Gaiden games. I know what to expect, and I'm here for it. Oh, I will say, I watched a snippet of this video, like the first 5 seconds, because I want to know if he's playing on PC. He's gonna say something might bother a lot of you. It bothered me when I first heard it. Just prepare yourself, prepare your ears. Let's see.
Welcome back to another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight up gameplay and our first impressions of the latest games releasing. Hi folks, it's Falcon and Platinum Games. Ninja Gaiden sounds like a match made in heaven.
No, I talked over it, hold on.
Falcon and Platinum Games. Ninja Gaiden sounds
Gaiden?
like a match
That's not what it's pronounced. That's not how you pronounce
of the
it.
hack and slash, reviving one of the all-time greats of the genre. Sure, the legacy of the Ninja Gaiden series has been spotty, and Platinum's reputation isn't as rock solid as it once was, but the possibility of greatness exists, of course, in such a project. The thing about Ninja Gaiden 4 is that it's actually pretty different in certain ways from Platinum's usual.
Oh, I will say, I watched my friend play like the first 5 minutes of it, because it's out right now on Twitch. I watched him play it there. Yeah, I'm liking how it looks, but yeah.
So the big question going in is this a proper Ninja Gaiden game or a Platinum game with a Ninja Gaiden suit? What makes these games different isn't the absurd violence, not just the absurd violence anyway. It's stuff like the controls, which are a little heavier, a little more deliberate. There's a little bit more need for precision and careful positioning, management of resources, and of course the grueling difficulty. That stuff defines Ninja Gaiden. If it's not making you contemplate punching a hole through the wall, it's not Ninja Gaiden. The challenge is what defines the series the most. Otherwise, it's pretty valuable, honestly. But Black and 2 are extremely different games, for instance. The first game focused on carefully crafted level design, small skirmishes, tough enemies. Sequel 3 into big open environments. Had to take on hordes of aggressive cannon fodder and endless waves of extreme violence. And the third game, I guess it was close to the second, but it doesn't really matter. So there's a couple of different viewpoints and approaches you could take with this game. If what you want is Ninja Gaiden Black, 4 is definitely...
Wait, he said it right there. So he's just, he's rage baiting us in the entire 2 minutes, or 1 minute. He just said it right there.
If what you want is Ninja Gaiden Black, 4 is definitely closer in spirit to the second game, with all its positives and negatives. I could probably end the review right there. It's like the second game, cut and print. There you go.
Okay,
somebody who wants Ninja Gaiden Black, not going to be their favorite game. Somebody who wants Ninja Gaiden 2, I think you'll be satisfied. I'd venture to say I even... Again. Somebody who wants Ninja Gaiden 2, I think you'll be satisfied.
Okay,
I venture to say I even think it might be more better. And then there's the approach that I'm taking. Well, I definitely have a fondness for Ninja Gaiden. Black more than 2. That isn't really what I'm here for.
It's fine.
To me,
It's fine. You can have your
the
preference.
Original Ninja Gaiden games, or the original 3D ones, anyways, were kind of proto-platinum games. They're extremely inconsistent in quality. There are ideas there that were ultimately developed later by Platinum. And although it's a different developer, different thing, to me, the games are more important as forerunners of what is ultimately a type of action game. I'm honestly here for Platinum. I love a good Platinum game. I like it when they innovate and they add new things.
They can.
But they're one of those developers that has a type of game that I just like. And sometimes you don't really need the wheel reinvented. Sometimes you just need more quality stuff.
Yes, just make the same game basically. Just
it's another
tweak a little bit
Platinum game.
more.
It's very good. It's not their best. I'm not going to claim it's their best. But I mean, keep these perspectives in mind as I'm talking. I think that there are flaws in this game that I think people who are specifically in it for the Ninja Gaiden experience are probably going to be more affected by. And somebody who's coming at this from a more Platinum-centric viewpoint is probably going to enjoy it more. So, that all in mind. The combat's incredible. The Platinum-ness of it it's there. It's so there.
Because the combat's the main part of Ninja Gaiden.
That might involve some of this stuff feeling maybe a little undercooked and maybe a little cheap. It's clear that Xbox or Koei Tecmo did not allot this the biggest budget in the world, and that kind of might make some people feel it's sort of a B-tier game. I don't personally care a whole lot about that. Some of my favorite stuff in Platinum is
that combat hits
relatively cheap. It's very arcadey. Platinum is just an extremely video gamey developer.
That's all we need sometimes.
For whatever reason, I just require less artifice with them. But that's also, in my opinion, something that makes them a little bit more controversial, because not everybody is like that. For some people, this is a great, solid, straightforward Platinum game, and for some people, it's going to be something that they wish was something more. Personally, I'm quite happy with it, because Platinum Sans Kamiya making something that is just a straightforwardly good Platinum game, I'm happy. That's great. I like that. But that doesn't mean that you're going to completely
that shark I saw in the trailers.
That. I am a Platinum fan bird.
Well, let me double check. I know what Platinum games make, because I know I played some Platinum games before. Let me just double check. I'm not a fake fan. Yeah, I was making sure. Yeah, Nier, Bayonetta. I was gonna say Bayonetta and Nier, but I didn't know for sure. Yeah. Ooh, they made Babylon. I know that game. I remember that game. Ooh. Okay.
I'm getting what I want here. That being said, we do have to talk about a few things that Ninja Gaiden fan isn't gonna love.
I need to hear this.
You spend most of the game playing as Raven Clan Ninja Yakumo. Ryu's in the game, and you do eventually play as him, but the new guy is the star attraction. Not a Devil May Cry 5 situation where the game is evenly split up between the characters. You're gonna play as the new guy for 80% of the game, and then the final stretch, you get a few levels with Ryu. That's it. I don't mind it.
That's
Again,
that's fine.
Like, you get the perspective I am coming from at this point.
That's
I'm
not
more
too
here
big
for
an
the
issue for me.
Platinum of it all than the Ninja Gaiden of it all. That doesn't mean I don't love Ninja Gaiden and understand why this would turn some people off, but I'm not turned off.
You just open up a dimension?
I'll say the trailers are a bit of a bait and switch, because it is not a split protagonist game. Yakumo is Ninja Gaiden 4. Ryu is more of a bonus. It is super satisfying to play as him. You get to don the shiny black spandex and Ninja Gaiden it up. Absolutely.
Ryu.
There's a story here, too, but it really doesn't matter a lot. There's probably less story.
We don't play Ninja Gaiden for the story. We don't care about the story. All we care about mainly is the action hidden. I mean, the story, sometimes, we care about the action.
In this game than any of the other too, but it really doesn't matter a lot. There's probably less story in this game than any of the other
that's fine with
Ninja Gaiden games, and that's saying a lot. Again, you play as Yakumo. He's an edgy ninja with frosted tips on a mission to destroy the Black Dragon that devastated Tokyo. You got to free the Dragon Priestess and purify 4 shrines before finally taking on the dragon itself. It's all formulaic and straightforward. There's very little to chew on, and that's fine because the focus is the action. In some ways, I could see missing the unnecessarily convoluted plot of something like Black. Not gonna lie, doesn't really matter that much. This isn't Ninja Gaiden Black, so don't go in thinking it is. If you do, and that's what you want, again, I think you're gonna be disappointed in certain ways about this game, but if you can come at it like its own thing, or like it's a Platinum thing, I think you're gonna like it. In practice, you're going through 4 major zones. You're beating 4
I'm just
main
happy the game's
bosses
back. I'm
with
just happy it's
occasional
back.
sub-boss along the way. In terms of level design, stages are a bit bland. They're of the open variety. Not a lot to actually look at here. Every area is kind of dark, kind of murky. You're mostly running through linear corridors without a lot of variety to keep that stuff fresh. Level design, it's probably the weakest aspect of the game. And also, it's just gonna remind you of Ninja Gaiden 2. At times, you're almost gonna even feel like it's a little indie-like. Reuses a limited palette of environmental details to build the levels. This is kind of where I say it reminds me a little bit of an arcadey
The heck are you
endeavor.
fighting?
This is not the first time you've seen Platinum do something like this. It's also not the first Ninja Gaiden like this. So, there's dance club assets inexplicably sprinkled around the sewer, though. That you'll find that weird. Whether weirdly charming or weirdly not charming, I guess that's up to you. That's a matter of taste. But let me bring you to the focus of the game. Combat. They get combat 100% right. The combat is where this game shines. It's exhilarating. And once you start getting the hang of it, you just feel satisfied. Everything you could do in a previous Ninja Gaiden game, it's all available here. Izuna drops, alliterations, ultimate techniques, they're all accounted for. Along with some new stuff like the Bloodbind ninjutsu, which allows you to power up your weapons while spending a meter called the Bloodbind Gauge. These are powered-up attacks that allow you to break through enemy guards, interrupt attacks. Mastering it, absolutely necessary for beating some of the bosses in this game because they can be brutal. You might think that being a platinum joint means it might be a little easier. It's not.
I don't want
some of the bosses,
I don't want that easiness.
Is brutally difficult.
That's what I want.
Not Souls-like hard. You're never going to get completely stuck on something, but these fights, some of them are going to require multiple restarts.
Yeah.
And part of that is that there is a lot to learn.
That's what I want.
Combat system
that's what I want to hear.
It's complex. Each weapon has its own strengths, its own
It's
weaknesses.
Looks like,
learning how to best utilize the many abilities you have. It can be overwhelming, but I would argue in a good way. The weapons, all extremely satisfying to use. They're spaced out. They get just enough time with each of them before the game gives you something new, which is a great piece of pacing that a lot of games seem to not.
And I'm pretty sure when I saw one of the trailers, or like one of the, I guess the gameplay trailer, showcase, whatever, I'm pretty sure it's weapon switching. Like, you can switch weapons mid-combat, which I don't think was a thing in the past Ninja Gaiden games. No, it wasn't in 2. I know for sure it wasn't in 2. Like weapon switching mid-combat, I meant, what I'm trying to say. I don't think that was a thing in the other Ninja Gaidens.
Grasp. Each major area has an entirely new set of enemies every time. The demons, not quite as much fun to fight as the DDO guys, but they have a steady flow of new enemies to keep things from getting boring, even though the stages might not be throwing you a bone in terms of new stuff, as much as maybe you would expect them to be. Like, there's only so long you could spend in a windy forest before you start going, maybe something other than a windy forest would be good at this point. It also takes a while to get to play as Ryu. You get to play at him around hour 8 or 9 of an 11 to 12-hour game. But
that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, 12-hour game.
Is fast,
I'm fine with
like
that.
a platinum protagonist, and Ryu still has some of the same old deliberate movement he had in the older games. Playing as him again is like putting on an old glove. Feels right. Like, I don't feel like
I think Ryu only has a dragon sword in this
him
one.
particularly different, despite the fact this is a fairly different game. It's a platinum game. I don't mind that they slowed him down because, again, it's more established that that's how he moves. It feels good. I like it. They're some of my favorite parts in the game, even if some of it is retreading some ground. It is, I mean, not as bad as Devil May Cry 4. The second half of Devil May Cry 4 is like repeating the first half. And each Ryu stage cuts down multiple part levels into a quick little replay where you get the highlights, refight the boss with his incredibly powerful arsenal of magic spells, and then you move on. Kind of disappointing. He's only got one unique boss. But getting to play as him is a lot of fun. And they even bring back the classic NES Ninja Gaiden theme back for a level, which I didn't think that they'd bring back, but I enjoyed a lot. Depending on what you like with games, you might say that this is it's maybe a little cheap or it's maybe a little video gamey, because replaying these parts, it feels like padding, but not like bad padding. They bring back some classic enemies for his segments, but it could have been more. You can play through the entire game.
No, they're them big old alien demons here. Pain and Ninja Gaiden 2, these little monsters, little green-blooded monsters. They're not little, they're huge, but...
Campaign as Ryu after beating the game, which is a solid reward. The bosses in general...
What happens when you beat the game?
classic enemies for his segments, but it could have been more. You can play through the entire campaign as Ryu.
Oh, that's great. That's great. All right, shoot. All right, I can play. If I beat the game, I can play it again as Ryu. Beautiful. Beautiful.
After beating the game, which is a solid reward. The bosses in general, pretty tough, and depending on your taste, they may stray a little too far into Dark Souls territory with how you fight them.
That's
they're
fine.
well
That's
designed,
fine.
though. They may or may not mesh with what you expect for this type of a game, but they are well designed. There's less spectacle and more mechanical depth, which is probably better for hardcore players, but sometimes you're going to want the big dumb spectacle, and it's maybe not to the level you expect it or want it. I don't know. Maybe
That's
you
fine.
know, but when we do before you buy, it's not just the person talking who has played it. Eric and Kevin, who generally write a lot for our channel, are the other people that play this. And there's differing viewpoints with the people who have played this game. Eric and I are a little more leaning towards the platinum, where Kevin is leaning more towards wanting it to be like Ninja Gaiden Black. And I think everybody kind of has like rational points in either direction. And if there is one thing,
Enter the speed.
Okay. Yeah. So far, what I'm hearing, I'm liking it. The sucks about the level design. That's kind of like, I guess they didn't have the budget to put more into the level design. But I have to try for myself the combat, because he's saying it's more kind of like platinum games. Not really. It has some Ninja Gaiden, but it's kind of like a platinum type of game. Platinum games game. That makes sense. But I have to see for myself how that feels, especially about Ryu, since they made him slower. We'll see about that. And we're back.
I think that we all kind of agree on, it's that in terms of spectacle, it's maybe not as heavy on that as it could / should be. There are a few standout moments, don't get me wrong, but I think you'll probably see a lot of people talking about the level design being a little drab, there not being a lot of story to connect with. There's 8 characters in total, if you count Ayane, who's more of a cameo,
Ayane back?
and
Alright,
Mission Control Girl. That doesn't even get an in-game model.
Ah.
It is a little slim with the
You got an in-game model? That's Ayane. Oh, that's crazy. I don't know about that one.
presentation, but to its credit,
Modders,
solid as
fix
hell.
that.
They do try to give you something to do other than just hacking and slashing by offering little side quests in each stage, but they're kind of basic. They don't really affect the experience one way or the other. Sometimes you get a little bonus boss fight that's slightly tougher than a normal enemy. Sometimes it's basic fetch quest. Nothing to write home about. Not gonna, I think, affect your opinion one way or the other. The one piece of side content that I would say is definitely worth hunting down are the Perdition Gates. They function like the arena challenges from the old game. You go through the gate, take on multiple waves of enemies, get a reward. It's simple, but they're a lot of fun.
Okay,
The
okay, I like
combat
that, I like
is
that.
the highlight of the game, and these are very combat-centric. Like, it's a
There we go,
no-brainer.
that's
You
what I
can
need.
really hone your abilities and just go nuts.
I know
with
there's a
these
training mode too, I
challenging
think, a
freeform
training-
combat
yeah,
scenarios.
mode.
And they can be really tough, but they're super satisfying when you
Dang.
clear them.
Oh, yeah, that's
There's a
crazy.
risk-reward
Hard
system for
difficulty.
these things. You can get higher rewards if you enter the gate with lower max health. It's a
Where
cool
did the Duma
idea,
drop at?
but I'm fine with the base level. There's certain people that are really going to think the game is most rewarding after finishing the main campaign, so you get all the challenge modes opening up. You can really dig down on the combat.
okay.
Main story's pretty short. Like I said, you're going to finish it in probably 11, 12 hours. But there's a lot more that gets unlocked after.
I mean, that's not that short. That's not that short at all. That's 11, 12 hours. That's not that short at all. that's kind of long. Or not long. That's pretty decent. I like that, especially for an action game. 11, 12 hours. I like that. I wonder how many chapters. Probably like 12. I'm gonna guess 12 chapters maybe. And I don't know what difficulty he's playing on. He might be playing on normal difficulty. So if you play on hard or higher, like I think Master is the highest. Probably bump that up some more.
Beating it, so they do give you something to do after the credits roll. I really enjoy Ninja Gaiden 4. I don't know if it's gonna wow anybody, but again, that's
Me.
a matter
It's
of
gonna wow
perspective.
me.
Depending on
It's
where
gonna
you're coming
wow me.
from, you might just want a really video gamey ass game, and
That's what I want.
I feel like it'd be hard to argue that's what this is. It's that. It's kind of a more subdued, maybe less bombastic platinum game, which that might be a positive for a lot of people. But for some people, it might be a little too stripped down.
I have to
think
see for
there
myself.
are going to be people that say this might be the best combat in a platinum game. I
Ooh.
don't think that's going to be a particularly controversial
Okay, that's good.
statement.
That's
like,
good
it's
to hear.
really good. But I think that there are differing expectations as to what other
Braylon,
people
skating.
might want from a Ninja Gaiden game. I don't necessarily expect a great narrative.
I don't
but
either.
there are going to be people who think that the plot is just way too non-existent. So
Who
again,
cares?
I think that we've
Hey, if you ever play Ninja Gaiden for the first time, you're playing 4 for the first time, you're like, man, is that all the Ninja Gaiden games are? For the most part, yes. The plot does not matter. You can. I was gonna watch a lore video on this game. I'm like, wait a minute, why should I? The plot is not that important. I mean, it probably has some good story beats in there, but if the action's not actiony, it's a bad Ninja Gaiden game.
Done a good job representing a couple of different sets of expectations for this before you buy. If you're like me, if what you want is another Platinum game,
you can talk about the performance,
the one with the most satisfying combat of any Platinum game other than Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Which,
oh yeah, I gotta play that one too.
You're ever gonna be able to beat that? I will honestly say this really would have been a place where they could have implemented the slicing. Like, where else are you going to get a perfect reason to have the slicing?
That is
Ninja
true.
Gaiden, the famously bloody forerunner to the Platinum type game. If there's one major criticism I personally have, why isn't the slicing from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance here? But again, that's just going to be something that I'll probably say with any Platinum game that has a sword in it ever. And there's swords in this. Now, bearing in mind, I don't expect them to have the sword mechanic. This is probably some of the tightest combat they've ever done, period.
I will take that.
It's that simple. This
take
is a really satisfying Platinum game. For me, it's an easy recommend. For somebody wanting something closer to Ninja Gaiden Black, maybe a little harder. I'm not going to say you're not going to like it. I think try it, see if you like it. There unfortunately isn't a demo, so that probably means wait for it to be on sale. But for me, I'm there. I like it. What about you, though? Leave us a comment. Let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day.
I guess performance okay on consoles, but
is of course a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, we thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon, and we'll see you next time.
Good review. He didn't talk too much, like get too deep into like this, like what you're gonna be fighting. So I like that.
Something feels off. A demon has been causing all this.
I'm glad he's liking the combat. The combat's the main. Again, I've been saying the main thing about Ninja Gaiden. Enemies look tough. He said they look tough. They are tough. There's more stuff to do once you beat the game. You got the arena type stuff. You get to play as Ryu once you beat the game, the main story. There's some some little side stuff to do. But that lacking level design, that's gonna be. I gotta see for myself again. But yeah, from what I've seen, I like it. I wasn't expecting like a 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10 masterpiece. It's Ninja Gaiden. I know what to expect. I know what to expect. I just gotta make sure what I like is there. But I'm probably gonna go on Steam I'm probably gonna go on Steam to check if the performance is great. Because again, PC ports, maybe hit or miss sometimes. Monster Hunter, hit or miss sometimes. So I need to know for sure. Once I know that the game runs fine, perfectly on PC, I will buy it instantly and play it tomorrow. But yeah, this was a good video. This was good before you buy. Good before you buy. Also, Falcon, I forgot his name, who was talking. Say the name right. You said it. You said it before right. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Say it right. I just have to ignore every time you call it a Gaiden. I had to ignore it every single time in my head. Ew. Disgusting. Hopefully, if this game does well, we get a Ninja Gaiden 5 or just something. I don't know. I want to see more Ninja Gaiden because this is like a rare type of action game. Because you have Devil May Cry, you got your Ninja Gaiden series. Those are like actiony video games, like, crazy combat. There's not a lot of crazy combat games in the space. Because nowadays the games are more like Dark Souls, the rolling, the parry, all that stuff. But you don't get crazy stuff like this. Phantom Blade is another one that's coming out hopefully next year, which it won't be as crazy as this combat wise, but that's gonna be another game that's like actiony hack and slash type of vibes. We need more actiony hack and slash video gaming games. Story be damned. I want to do crazy unga bunga, crazy combos. I want that. I want more games like that. So please, Ninja Gaiden, please do well. I need more games from you. But yeah, I'm gonna head out of here now. I'm gonna eat some food because I'm very hungry. Yeah, thank you for watching. Trash Kids out of here. Yeah.
Mama said get out of bed, it's time to pray. Leave your ego at the door, it's in the way.